This is the Mississippi King welcoming y'all back to the next episode of Let's Play Ocarina of Time. And in the last episode, we finished the Shadow Temple and cleared the Gold Sculpture Hunt. We also got the final heart container and found out that the reward for the Gold Sculpture Hunt is 200 rupees. Which is really lame, but you are allowed to collect that 200 rupees as many times as you want. But it still sucks, and it's why I said it wasn't worth it. Before that, I have things I want to tell only to you. Please listen. Another unknown legend of the Triforce passed down by the Shadow Folk, the Sheikas. If you would seek the Sacred Triangle, listen well. The resting place of the Sacred Triangle, the Sacred Realm, is a mirror that reflects what is in the heart of one who enters it. If an evil heart, the realm will become full of evil. If pure, the realm will become a paradise. The Triforce, the Sacred Triangle, it is a balance that weighs the three forces: power, wisdom, and courage. If the heart of the one who holds the Sacred Triangle has all three forces in balance, that one will gain the true force to govern all. But if that one's heart is not in balance, the Triforce will separate into three parts: power, wisdom, and courage. Only one part will remain for the one who touched the Triforce, the part representing the force that one most believes in. If that one seeks the true force, that one must acquire the lost two parts. Those two parts will be held within others chosen by destiny, who will bear the Triforce mark on the backs of their hands. "7 years ago, Ganondorf, the King of Thieves, used the door you opened in the Temple of Time and entered the Sacred Realm. But when he laid his hands on the Triforce, the legend came true. The Triforce separated into three parts. Only the Triforce of Power remained in Ganondorf's hand. The strength of the Triforce of Power enabled him to become a mighty evil king, but his dark ambitions were not satisfied. To gain complete mastery of the world, Ganondorf started looking for those chosen by destiny to hold the other Triforce parts. The one who holds the Triforce of Courage is you, M. King. And the other who holds the Triforce of Wisdom is the seventh sage who is destined to be the leader of them all. Yes, it's true. Sheik and Zelda are the same person. Quite the twist, eh? It is I, the Princess of Hyrule, Zelda. I apologize for meeting you in disguise, but it was necessary to hide from the King of Evil. Please forgive me. On that day 7 years ago, Ganondorf attacked Hyrule Castle. I saw you as I was escaping from the castle with my attendant Impa. I thought I should entrust the Ocarina to you. I thought that would be our best chance. As long as you had the Ocarina in your possession, I thought Ganondorf could never enter the Sacred Realm, but something I could never expect happened. After you opened the door of time, the Master Sword sealed you away in the Sacred Realm. Your spirit remained in the Sacred Realm, and then the Triforce fell into Ganondorf's hand. He went on to invade the Sacred Realm. Ganondorf had become the evil king, and the Sacred Realm became a world of evil. All of this is an unfortunate coincidence. I passed myself off as a Sheikah and hoped you would return. I waited for 7 years. And now, you are back. The Dark Age ruled by Ganondorf, the evil king, will end. The 6 sages will open the sealed door and lure Ganondorf back into the Sacred Realm. I will then seal the door to the Sacred Realm from this world. Thus Ganondorf, the evil king, will vanish from Hyrule. And King, in order to do this, I need your courage again. Please protect me while I do my part. And here is a weapon that can penetrate the evil king's defenses, the power given to the chosen ones. The Sacred Arrow of Light. That means we get the last of the 3 arrows in the game, the light arrows. And these are actually mandatory to beat the game. And I know this because, like, you can't really, you really can't do it without it. So the light arrows are definitely going to come in handy. Bear that in mind, okay? But what's this? It's shaking. That rumbling, it can't be!
Princess Zelda, you foolish traitor. I commend you for avoiding my pursuit for 7 long years. But you let your guard down. I knew you would appear if I let this kid wander around. My only mistake was to slightly underestimate the power of this kid. No, it was not the kid's power I misjudged, it was the power of the Triforce of Courage. But with the Triforce of Wisdom that Zelda has, when I obtain these 2 Triforces, then I will become the true ruler of this world. If you want to rescue Zelda, come to my castle.
That sounds like a challenge. That means that we'll waste no more time and just get right to it. So anyway, with that out of the way, we can actually start on the final dungeon. Oh, also, on a side note, Ganondorf, I don't think that's what a traitor is. A traitor is someone who acts on your side. I don't think Zelda was ever pretending to be on your side. So that's not a traitor. That's just an enemy. I digress. So now it's time to actually start on Ganondorf's castle. In this episode, we'll tackle Ganondorf's castle and also get another item. as well as another ability. So, yeah, this episode will be one where we collect the last of the items. So, this is it, folks. We're almost done with this game, and man, boy, I tell you, I cannot wait to be done with it. But anyway, with the power of the sages, they create this bridge that grants you access inside Ganon's castle. And this is the final dungeon of the game. So, Ganon's castle is separated into 6 parts. Well, 7 if you count the final path. And you can do them in any order you please, but I believe I'll take on the shadow one first, because that contains the item. And I'll do I'll do some of them in this episode, but I don't think I'll finish it in this episode. With that out of the way, the various places that you go to, these all correspond to the medallions, to forest, to shadow, spirit, fire, and water. So, they all recap previous hardships that you've been through. So, they all offer unique puzzles and challenges based on the previous dungeons you've been to. So, all of them serve as a reminder of your past trials. And it's not quite like a boss rush, but it's pretty cool, I find. And at the end of each of them, you'll run into one of the sages, and that's pretty cool. Like the shadow section, for instance, is based on the Shadow Temple. It's all about seeing the path forward and lighting torches. Well, I mean, the Shadow Temple didn't rely on that, but it did rely on the Lens of Truth, and this section also relies on the Lens of Truth. And, apparently you can actually get through this without the fire arrows, but it's kind of tricky. Since I have the fire arrows, I don't need to use it. Still, with that, it's like the Shadow Temple, it's all about seeing the path forward and moving through deception. Oh, you think the darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then, it was nothing but blinding. I've been watching some new movies recently, in case people can't tell. Of course, as always, I'm a huge film buff. And I love me some movies, what can I say? Yes, I recently saw The Dark Knight Rises, and, yeah, it's pretty good, I must admit, I do enjoy it. It's not the best I've seen after I have already seen The Dark Knight. I mean, it is a little hard to top that. But I was impressed by it, I do enjoy it. And, I especially like the character of Bane. The shadow barrier is dispel. Hurry up and save the princess. So, with each time we save one of the, well, we're not saving the sages. For each barrier that's disabled, you head to you're sent back to the exit. So I'll meet you outside. And here we are outside. So, right here, you can actually just use the silver gauntlets to clear the path of all of these boulders. Actually, we have the golden gauntlets. We got them from the shadow section, which is why I tackled that first. And now that we have the Golden Gauntlets, we can lift something that we couldn't before. It's this little lone, giant, humongous boulder right here, and you can just heave it and send it flying like crazy. Like, that kind of strength, you could just punch Ganondorf to death and beat him that way. Now, with that out of the way, now all that's left is to get the double defense, which is the last thing I am collecting in this game. With the double defense, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could beat the game without it, but I mean, this is 100%. And the double defense, as it sounds, halves your defense. So, you remember when I said that, like, we had max health after the Shadow Temple? Well, that's sort of true. A double defense reinforces it by decreasing the damage done by enemies by half. So, for instance, the Iron Knuckles, which I believe did 4 hearts of damage in each hit, now only do 2 hearts of damage. And it's gonna come in handy because the iron will run into a lot of Iron Knuckles in the next video or so. And also the one after that, because you want to know something else? We're actually getting close to the end of the game. Well, I mean, you already knew that. So, as I was saying, like, we ain't got much left to this game. And, it's been quite the ride, I must say. Quite unexpected in a number of places. But it's been entertaining, it's been interesting all along the way. Okay, and we're back at the castle. So next we're going to be tackling the Spirit section, which, just like the Spirit Temple, it requires fortitude. It's more about forging ahead, and it involves a lot of moving you move statues, as well as some hazards you encountered a lot in the Spirit Temple. This includes, like, the rupee collecting, as well as the use of bomb shoes, hence it requires fortitude and skill to get through, or rather, it intends to use that. I mean, it's very fun. I enjoyed, well, actually, I'm not much of a fan of these rupee collecting parts, I must admit. However, it's pretty short. In fact, I'll probably be able to, like, get half of these sections done. And as for the order, I think I'll go in the reverse order of the temples that I went to. I mean, minus the light section, because yes, there is a light section and there is no light temple. And this has led some people to suspect that originally they weren't going to include a light temple. However, that's unclear, because, like, I'm not sure if that's been confirmed or anything, but yeah, some people have suspected that there was originally a light temple in the game that was planned. With regards to this LP, I intend to finish it, like, the week of Valentine's Day, actually. So, for people watching, like, I'm not actually recording it to that week, and who knows when it'll be uploaded. It could very well be after that week, this video, that is, but I'm hoping I can release it in the week of Valentine's Day, but I'm not sure. Along with the video in which I talk about I wish, like, Happy Valentine's Day in the most romantic place of all, the Shadow Temple. As for that, like, this place is pretty short, but don't worry, it'll be over soon. The journey will be over soon, actually. Hard to believe it's been, like, nearly 2 years at this point that I've been working on this game. Like, man, I really want to get this done and over with so that I can move on to other projects. You know, for as much as I love this game, I do think I need to eventually move on and talk about other stuff. I mean, there's only so much you can say about the greatest game of all time, and it's about time that I finish what I have to say and actually get through this. This part right here requires the mirror shield. Like, as I've said, these sections often rely on items you get that are useful for previous dungeons. The fire section will, for that, will not really need the fire tunic. In fact, I'm going to attempt it without the fire tunic, but it definitely helps, because it gets rid of the timer, and that is very much appreciated. So, with that, we're done with the spirit section. That leaves 4 remaining sections, and of course we're greeted by Naburu here, so that's good. The spirit barrier is dispelled. Hurry up, kid! So, now we're going to tackle the fire section next. So, I'm just gonna rush right to the fire section. And, yeah, I still can't believe that we're almost done with this game. It has been so long. And, fortunately, it's not like Proton John or anything, which, yeah, I know I'm kind of picking on poor Proton John, but, I mean, at least it's not taking over a decade. That's definitely an improvement, if you ask me. Oh boy, that was some utterly embarrassing suckage. Man, like, I died like way too many— well, I didn't die, but I fell down way too many times. That was just ridiculous. But now we're done with the fire section too. And we're greeted by Darunia.
The fire barrier is dispelled. Hurry up, brother!
And with that, I guess that will have to be it for this video. This is the Mississippi King, signing out, and in the next episode we'll dispel the remaining barriers and begin our journey to Ganondorf himself. So see y'all then. Like, comment, and subscribe, by the way. It helps this channel, if you enjoy the video, that is.